Hi, Miss Nikki here. Welcome to Biology 201. This is Human Anatomy and Physiology. This is a completely online course. This course is going to require a lot of work, so I like to warn people ahead of time. This is anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week just on this class. Especially if you've never taken an anatomy course before, or it's been a long time since you've taken a science course, this course is really difficult. You're learning a language and you're applying that, and you're learning all of this material in 16 weeks. So it's just kind of nonstop. So not trying to scare you, just kind of give you a heads up. This course is going to require a lot of your time. Normally we would meet 5 hours a week in class, and then you probably spend 10 hours outside of class prepping for exams. So that right there is about 15 hours. So if you're not traveling to class and we're not sitting in the classroom, that 5 hours of just class time is kind of getting everything organized, going through the PowerPoints, and then to actually study, you're going to have to take additional time to do that as well. So every time you open the course, it's going to come here to the announcement page. I post weekly announcements and reminders, and it automatically sends it to your email as well. For the best way to contact me, come down here to Calhoun Email and select this Email Your Instructor tab. When you do that, your name shows up, and it also shows this course. So I'm teaching 5 classes. If you send me an email outside of Blackboard, I'll still get it, but I don't know what class you're in. It's going to take me a while to respond. If I don't have my computer, I'm going to have to email you back and say, what class are you in? I don't have my computer in front of me. I can't answer your question until I know what class you're in. So I teach several different classes. I'm teaching 103, 201, and 202. So it's not that I'm trying to be difficult. This is just the best way to save time and make sure that I know exactly what class you're in so I can answer your question as fast as possible. So select the Calhoun Email tab, select Email Your Instructor. I'll know exactly who you are and what course you're in. Course information, you had to read through all this to get to the video, so I'm not going to go through all of it. Please look at student resources and course policies. For syllabus and syllabus quiz, I'll open up the syllabus for you real quick. This gives you all the information you're going to need. Talks about the textbook, and we'll talk about some of these options in just a second. STARS Institute, tutoring, kind of breaks everything down, course objectives, the grading plan or scale. It's going to be 75% for exams and 25% for your homework. I also have an image of an Ethernet cable. So all of your exams are going to be taken through HonorLock on the computer. So that's the company. They're going to record your screen and your face while you're taking the exam. Please don't have any phones on you, earplugs in. It needs to be in a quiet location. I'll give you guys a practice test to take before you take the actual first test. If there's any cell phone present, it's an automatic 0. If you're constantly looking down at something, you're going to get flagged in the system. I'm going to watch the video and you're going to get caught. So please just do your best and study, and don't cheat, because I don't like having to be the policeman and give people 0s for blatant cheating. So it'll talk about the lecture in the lab and what type of questions we're going to have. And then we have our schedule. So the entire schedule is listed from now to the end of the semester. You can see that everything is due Monday at midnight. So do not start your work on Monday, right? This is a lot. You're going to always have some sort of reading and questions. Some chapters you're going to have lab content to go through, and this is going to take a little bit. And then you're going to have a chapter quiz on the material. Sometimes there's going to be an animation in there where you watch an animation and it has a set of questions that go with it. So you never know. Don't wait till the last minute. Try to do your work the weekend before it's actually due, and feel free to work ahead. I know lots of students that like to stay a week or so ahead so that if something does happen, they have a little bit of wiggle room before the test to kind of catch up. So here's due dates, exams. This is, you can always take an exam early. You can't take an exam late. I'll scroll through. You can see attendance. During the first week, you've got to complete the syllabus quiz and the discussion board to be marked as present. Makeup policy for missing work. You have to have a doctor's note if you have an illness of yourself or immediate family member, any sort of military obligation, death in the family, college business, court appearance. but it does have to be some sort of documented excuse. You can't just say, oh, I had a court appearance. I need to see some sort of paperwork trail, and then I can give you an extension for the homework or for the exams. So we will have 3 unit exams. You can say this is 6 exams total because there's always a lecture and a lab exam, but there are 3 units is how the course is broken down. I've kind of, in this personal welcome statement, kind of broken down some time management for you. The first couple of chapters, it's going to take you a little while to kind of get in the groove, and then you'll know exactly how long you need to spend to kind of get the work done for the week. So you can see here, I've broken it down. It's just going to depend. What was your recent science class? Have you already taken in some anatomy in high school? But this could be anywhere from, like it says 7 to 14. I usually say anywhere from, 10 to 15 hours spent just on this course. So please review the syllabus, make sure you understand everything that's in the syllabus, and then come here and take the syllabus quiz. We also have the college syllabus here. Take a look through some of the college policies. I'm going to come over to course content, and I'm going to show you first week orientation. So if you select first week orientation, it has your very first McGraw-Hill Connect assignment, which is an orientation walkthrough for the Connect and the Anatomy and Physiology Revealed, or APR software. They also have a link here for you to submit your Blackboard student orientation. So you can see over here, this is the tab that you would select to do the orientation. If you have not taken an online class at Calhoun, you complete the Blackboard student orientation and it's good for a year. So when you screen capture your certificate, it should have your name and your A number, and then it'll have the dates that are valid at the bottom. Make sure those valid dates are listed, because I can't give you credit unless it says 2023 to 2024. So then you'll select this Connect APR. And if you haven't registered for McGraw-Hill Connect before, if it doesn't recognize you, it's going to have you walk through the registration process. So if you want to see what that looks like, come over here to the Books tab, and there is a video as well as a PowerPoint. So it'll walk you through when you first select on the assignment inside Blackboard, this page will pop up. You'll use your Calhoun email to register. It'll ask you some information, and then it's going to come to this page where you can either enter a Connect code. So you've already purchased the book from the bookstore. There's a little cardboard insert. You use that number that's inside, you enter it here, and now you have access to the online material. You can purchase. So you can come over here. I want to buy it directly from the publisher, and you can buy it from the publisher. You also have temporary access. So you can access your homework, get all of your homework done for the first week. In 2 weeks, a new window will pop up when you go into McGraw-Hill, and it'll say, hey, your temporary has expired. Please enter your code or purchase your code now. So you have a little bit of wiggle room there. You can still get started with your course content. So back here, course content, first week orientation, you're going to select this link first. It'll let you register. You can do the temporary access, and then you can walk through the videos and the questions to help you get familiar with this platform that we use. If you come to Unit 1, you can see we have it folders by chapters, 1 through 6, and then I have some practice quizzes for you. I'll talk more about these practice quizzes kind of as we move through, but it'll help you prepare for the lab portion. It's really hard to take anatomy and physiology online when you don't have the model in front of you like you would in a face-to-face class. So these practice lab quizzes are pictures of models, and you're doing fill in the blank. It's asking you, it has an arrow, it says, what is this? Or it has a highlighted structure and says, name this structure. And so it just kind of helps you get practice for the lab portion of the exam. I'm going to open up chapter 1. You'll see that I have instructions. Here's your lecture content. Here's your laboratory content for the week. Here's all of your Connect homework. Here are your learning objectives. So these, you're basically creating your own study guide as you go along. These are the questions that you should be able to answer after you have completed chapter 1. After you've read the chapter, done the homework, watched the videos, you should be able to answer these questions. And then we have an outline, which is just the Word version of the PowerPoint. We have the actual PowerPoint, and then have a video of me explaining the PowerPoint. So every chapter is going to be set up the same way, where I'm going to give you instructions. I'm going to have a link for you to get to all of your Connect homework. Then you're going to have learning objectives, and you're going to have videos to watch. So you can see why this seems like a lot of work. It really is. So I wasn't kidding about the 10 to 15 hours. So for lecture content, read chapter 1, complete the McGraw-Hill Connect chapter 1 questions. So those would be in here. If I select Connect homework, chapter 1 reading questions. All right, back to instructions. Watch the chapter 1 video, answer the chapter 1 learning objectives, complete the McGraw-Hill Connect chapter 1 quiz, review your learning objectives weekly, right? So our first exam has 6 chapters. If you try to cram, it doesn't work. You have to be learning a little bit every day, every week. For laboratory content, identify all the items listed on page 1.5 and 1.6 in the lab guide. See the lab guide attached. See the body organs labeled item for help with identification. Complete the McGraw-Hill Connect Chapter 1 lab content. That's also in this Connect homework. So anything that's graded is highlighted that it's graded. And if it says Connect, it's in this folder. So just a little bit more about the lab. Identify all the items on 1.5 and 1.6. The lab guide is right here. So when you open up the lab guide, you're going to scroll till you get to page 1.5 and 1.6. And those are at the bottom. So you can see this is 1, 2. So I'm going to have you guys come to this page. Organs listed by cavity or region. So you're going to find every structure on 1.5 and 1.6, and you can use the pictures from your textbook. But since your textbook doesn't have a labeled image of all of these, I've taken model pictures from the lab and then I've labeled them. So you can go through this labeled body organ PowerPoint and locate all of these structures. So hopefully that will help, and that's right here. Then you're going to come to the Connect homework. If you come down here to lab content, it's not going to let me open it for you the way you would see it, so I'm not going to do that. But when you select the lab content, it's going to open up the cadaver site, the APR site, and it's going to walk you through where all of these cavities are, where these organs are, and it'll have a list on one side, and then it'll have an image on the other side. So these come in really handy. You'll walk through questions, answers. You have to click on all of the structures that you've looked at them. So you select the structure, it'll be highlighted. And then at the end, you take a quiz, and it's just going to shuffle through everything that it asked you, and it'll have a question, and you'll have to point to it or you'll have to fill it in. So don't open the lab content or do the lab content at first. Kind of go through the lab guide and that PowerPoint that was labeled and kind of make sure that all that makes sense to you, and then come to the Chapter 1 lab content and open that up. So when you go back to the unit, you can see that there are multiple chapters, right? They're all going to be laid out the same. You're going to have instructions on what to do for lecture content, what to do for lab content. You're going to have a folder with all of your Connect assignments in there. You're going to have your learning objectives, and sometimes the videos are broken down into multiple parts if it's just too long. So everything is laid out for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to sit down with you either in person or virtually and kind of walk through anything that you don't understand. Coming back to course information and some of these questions here in the orientation video, I just want to make sure that I've covered everything. Access the textbook, what happens if you have a McGraw-Hill issue. When we're not going to do too many simulated labs in 201, they're more animations and that APR. It's not a drag and drop lab like you might have for other online courses. When will the Connect grades post? So this is a really good question. The Connect Blackboard sync doesn't happen immediately. So if you complete an assignment in Connect and then you go back into Blackboard, it may not show at your grade there. As long as your grade shows in Connect, you're good. So anytime you open Connect, it keeps track. Anytime you submit an assignment, it keeps track. So even if for some reason Blackboard never talked to Connect, I can go into Connect and see that you completed the work. And I could hand transfer the grades or manually transfer them if I absolutely have to. But usually the system, after the due date, it'll sync everything and your grade will show up. So don't freak out if it's not in Blackboard. Sometimes they have issues talking to each other, but I can always go look in Connect and see that you've completed the work. The other thing for what happens if I have a Connect issue, back in the Books tab, there's a McGraw-Hill Help button. I would say first come and see me or email me or call me and tell me what's going on. Send me a screenshot if you can, like if there's some weird message that's coming up. I can usually walk you through some of the basic things. If something else is happening, then you might have to contact McGraw-Hill Help. And so this is a form, you fill it out. They respond usually within 24 hours to email. So useful to use. Also, I'm not sure if you saw back in each chapter, when you open up the Connect Homework tab, when it lists all the assignments, every single Connect Homework folder has trouble downloading APR. This could also be with Connect in general. So APR has these really detailed cadaver images. So when you're looking at all of these pictures, there's a temporary storage that's created. And sometimes when that happens, it slows your computer down. So you might need to go and delete your browser history. And I've kind of walked you through how to do that. So basically you're just clearing all of the history, all the cache, all the temporary storage, and then all of a sudden your APR is working just fine. So this is kind of like the very first thing to do. Then you can email me if you're still having issues, and then we may have to troubleshoot through McGraw-Hill. So please reach out to me if I can help in any way. If you need anything, I'm available. I have office hours Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11 and 1:30 to 2:30. I can also do virtual meetings later in the afternoons, and I can also do Friday. So just please reach out ahead of time. Don't wait until it's too late. After the fact doesn't usually work out really well. If you email me before something, happens, or that you're going to have a really crazy week coming up, or, later in the semester, you can always reach out to me early and maybe we can come up with a plan. So have a great semester, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.